Hey guys, Darren Asbury here with Revital Outdoors, bringing you another exciting podcast. Tonight we have Mr. Brian Carper on with us. Brian got a top 10 finish the last time that the BFL tournaments went to Percy Priest. That would have been 2 years ago. They didn't go there last year, but they went there in 2020, and now they're back there this year. So we're going to talk to Brian. Really great content coming your way. Before we get started, as always, Revital Outdoors is doing a very exciting giveaway. We're going to do a $2,500 giveaway to a lucky angler at the end of the year. To enter that giveaway, you will see the banner scrolling at the bottom. Click the link right below this video in the description. That will enter you in. It just takes 2 seconds to do so. And if you're an angling nut like myself and Brian, you definitely want to get in on this. So click that link and enter in. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. That's going to be Revital Outdoors. And then also check us out on Facebook and Instagram. And if you've never heard of Revital Outdoors, we're a premium CBD company. We offer premium CBD products to all the outdoor enthusiasts out there. Check them out on our website. You can purchase them directly off our website. They're THC free, made right here in America. Really, really great products. So check them out, give them a try, and that's going to be on our website, revitaloutdoors.com. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this podcast. Mr. Brian Carper, how you doing this evening, bud?
Oh, I'm doing great. Besides for all the rain that just came through, I just got off the lake. I had the maiden voyage for my 2022 KMIS, and well, it's soaking wet and a disaster. Not the one I wanted for the first ride, but it's going to get fished hard and beat to death all year. So we might as well go ahead and break it in. So, but we're doing well, and fish are moving a lot, and they're biting pretty good over here.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit more about Percy Priest. So it's a lake I've never really heard of. Not a lot of anglers have really heard of it either. But looking at the results and looking at some research I've done, it's a phenomenal bass fishery. So what makes it special? How come a whole lot of anglers have never heard of it? And what can we expect in the springtime from that lake?
Yeah, so it's really popular, I think, because it's centralized, kind of right near Nashville. Percy Priest and Old Hickory. Both have had, the larger Elite Series tournaments at times. Old Hickory Lake, the pros, the FLW, and the Bassmasters and the women's pros, they've all been there in the last 5 to 10 years. And Percy Priest isn't on the map recently as far as that caliber of tournament, but the 72 Classic was on it. The second Classic ever was on Percy Priest Lake. It's a good lake. It constantly takes 18 to 20 plus pounds to win. It's got largemouth, smallmouth, and spotted bass, which is attractive to a lot of people with the smallmouth. And even over Old Hickory Lake, which is more popular, Priest continually puts up more weight than Priest. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know exactly outside of giving TWRA here credit for what they do on the lakes and the data and all the resources they pour into the lakes here, why it does produce so much better weight consistently. And it might just be because it's a different kind of lake. Instead of a river system lake, it's landlocked, and it's what I call a contour lake. I came from the Potomac River fishing tidal water growing up, and then I came over here, and everything looks the same. So everything that you fish, especially that is productive, is under the water. Where the bluff wall transitions into a mud flat. Where you have boulder rocks that they can get into 4 to 8 feet. So it takes a while to kind of dissect, but that could be a factor of why the fish there continually seem to produce better in the 4, 5, 6 pound range. But it's a strong lake. Over the years, it's never really had much of a struggle.
Okay. Now, does it fish like other lakes in your area around the Nashville area as far as, pre-spawn fish are moving up this time of year? Really good, reaction bait lake, maybe a little bit of dirty water. So you might want to relate to those, reds and oranges with those crawfish patterns, with those reaction baits. A lot of shad, are dying that time of year, or, what's kind of going on?
Yeah, so it is like, a typical lake, the upper end, the Stones River that we have here, which was a big battle in the Civil War. But that river, the Stones River, feeds the lake. And the upper end, like most lakes, is like more like a river. It's shallow. It's got mud flats. The color has the water has more color. So if you're a power fisherman, you favor the upper end. Mid lake's kind of a blend. When you go down lake, it's wider, it's clearer. Most of the smallmouth are down there. And then as right now, spring is moving through. The pre-spawn fish were 2, 3, 4 weeks ago up on the river. And now they're starting to kind of slow down, and you're seeing these mid and down lake guys starting to put up the 18 pounds, 20 pounds. So it functions the same as most lakes in that regard.
Okay. Now for this tournament coming up this year, it's actually a couple of weeks away. You said you've already had some tournaments this year on Percy Priest. What is the lake doing? What do you expect weight wise this year? And how many keepers can be caught? Is it really hard to come by a limit, or is it just harder getting those quality bites, or is this just going to be a lake or a time of year where it's going to be really, really good?
It should be a strong event. Typically, end of February, March, and April is you're gonna have to have 5. You're gonna have to have at least over 15 pounds to get in the top 5. I'd say you're gonna have to have probably 18 or more to have a shot at it. We just came out of it's April. 5 weeks ago, the ABA was there, which I was fortunate to win on the 22nd of February, and so that's just 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. It was the winter A-rig bite. That's what most people were throwing. If you weren't, you were throwing a jerkbait or a jig. And now you can still do that. I think for this event, I might turn my live scope on and just pick up my A-rig rod and search for the ones I want. But there's a lot of fish that are being caught in 3 to 8 foot. There's still some moving up that will on this next full moon, but a lot of fish I think can be caught in that deeper 4 to 10 foot moving out. Maybe not quite post spawn, but there's a smaller majority of fish, of big fish quality, that are in that super shallow water now. So I'd see a lot of spinnerbaits, square bills, crankbaits. Those are going to be your big hitters for the most bites. Jigs popular. We've got a lot of boulder rocks. So, the guy that is fine with only getting, 5, 6, 7 bites a day with the big jig, he could be hard to beat if he gets the right bites. But you'll get a lot of numbers on reaction baits. You gotta siphon through the little ones to get the 5 that you want. And that can be tough. That can be frustrating.
Absolutely. One last question before we let you go, Brian. What about a co-angler in this? You talk about there's a lot of rock, a lot of boulders and everything. To me, as a co-angler myself, that tells me finesse jigs, shaky heads, finesse presentations, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so if you're in the back of the boat at any of these events, you're going to want those things. Guys throwing jigs, you want a shaky head. If we're allowed, in the BFLs to throw the A-rig, then if you're behind, it'd probably be best to throw a single swim bait or an underspin, or if you're shallow enough, a jerk bait. So you definitely want to throw something different. But fishing out of the back is like normal. I feel like kind of a downsized finesse. Catch the fish at those, the front boater is not able to get, or that they're not interested in what they're throwing.
Okay. So, well, Brian, really appreciate you coming on the podcast. Good luck to you this year. We hope to have you back on, because that usually means really good things. Before we let you go, I know looking at your social media, you got a great group of people that you represent, great, people around the area, great family and all that. So anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go, I just want to give you the chance to do that.
Yeah, a couple of big sponsors for me is CoAnchoring. I work through for the Camus boat, which is an amazing boat. They've got a great group of guys down there that do sales and service. And we also have Hoppy's Lures with spinner baits, where I work my guide service out of. He doesn't make them as much as he used to, but he's been around in the Bass Pro and the stores here for 20 years, and they support us fully. So we're very appreciative for them, and they definitely help us get more fish in the boat and get to enjoy what we love to do.
Absolutely. So, from all of us at Revital Outdoors, you've been talking to Mr. Brian Carper, a top 10 angler from Percy Priest 2 years ago at the BFL. That tournament is again coming up in 2 weeks. So, we wish Brian all the best of luck. We wish all the anglers fishing the BFL tournaments in 2022 luck as well. Before we let you go, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and then make sure you enter that $2,500 giveaway. That's right below in the description, that link. It just takes 2 seconds to enter. You've been seeing the banner scrolling across. So, enter that giveaway. Again, I'm Theron Asbury from Revital Outdoors. Thank you for tuning into this podcast. Be safe out there. God bless. We'll talk to everyone very, very soon.